Hi, I'm Bob Vila. Welcome home again to our little farmhouse renovation story here in Medford, Massachusetts. Most of the work is finished on the outside. Today we're inside looking at beautiful Merillat kitchen cabinets, also picking up some stone counters. And we'll also be installing some California closet interiors. Stick around, it's good to have you home again. Well, the Merillat cabinets, these are semi-custom, have arrived and are being installed. There's no more exciting a point in a big rehab like this than when the kitchen cabinets come together. And joining us now is Mark Van Sickle from Merillat. And Mark, if I can just interrupt you for a minute, tell us a little bit about the construction of these cabinets, would you?
These cabinets are cherry. They're called cherry cider.
So that basically this is all solid cherry.
Solid cherry. Right, solid cherry face frames and doors. And the cabinet end panels are standard. You can order them as upgrade if you want what the homeowner architect want plywood. You can get plywood. You get what you want.
But the semi-custom aspect of it, how does that work?
Well, semi-custom, you can get ergonomics installed in your cabinets, pre-installed. And that means all the choices. Ergonomics,
we're going to see that in a minute, but that means all the extra features that you can put into the cabinets. What are you doing right here?
Well, this is just a simple drilling jig that I made up for drilling your hardware on 5-inch centers. Keeps them all in the same location.
Right, yeah. And you got one open here. Right. So these are nice stainless steel pulls and a very kind of contemporary profile. And you'll be putting these all here and here. Now, this is an unusual setup, right?
Right. These are 3 wall cabinets stacked on top of each other, built up on a platform, so you have a toe kick still underneath of them.
Now, this makes for a very unusual installation because what you've got is like a whole wall of cabinets, almost like a butler's pantry.
Right.
And yet you kind of save money because you're buying a standard box, a standard overhead cabinet.
That's correct, and all you do is add end panels to cover your seams when you stack your 3 cabinets. A solid end panel covers it up.
Right. Okay, well, I'll let you continue with your little drilling operation, then we'll ask you about the ergonomics. I want to see how Charlie's doing finishing up with the installations here. You've got all of them in place, Charlie, except for this one, and this one's already here.
This one here, we've already got this one in place. It's a base cabinet that's going side by side to a 4-foot stove that we've
got a big thermidor that goes in there shortly.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're installing our last base cabinet here.
All right.
Into this.
Well, how did you get started? Because the majority of the cabinets are right along the wall here under the windows. Where did you get started in the room?
Well, what we had to do first, Bob, was we had to find the high point in the room. As an old house, they're always out of level, the floors are out of level, so you have to look for the high spot. We determined that this area here was the high point. So a couple days ago, Jimmy had started installing cabinets, found his high point, leveled across. Okay, then he started with his
So he
sink
basically
base.
took the level and drew a level line across the whole wall, which is where the tops of the cabinets want to be. Because at the bottom, if the floor is uneven, you can always add shim shingles and fill that in to kind of make up the difference. And that'll be hidden by the toe kick.
Right.
But at the top, you want to provide a totally flat, even surface for the countertops to sit on. You don't want to be shimming the countertops.
No, you don't shim the countertops.
Okay.
So we started with the sink base. And in this instance here, they centered it on the wall, which is really not my way of doing things, but, you know.
Yeah, if you're washing dishes here, you're looking straight at the wall.
Straight at the wall.
Or you can look that way or like that. Well, okay, yeah.
So anyway, he starts from the sink base, works his way across, and then that was it.
And then these are all fastened together with the doors still off, so that essentially you're driving screws through from one style to the next.
Right, through the side of your facing, all right, on the inside.
Yeah.
And then after that's all installed, we put the doors back on.
All right, well, can I help you with this one now?
Sure.
Is there any tricks involved here?
Well, we've just got a line drawn on the wall here. We're just going to move this into position. Okay, like so. And then we'll take our level and we'll just check what we have here. Pretty good right there. And we can check across the top. And it doesn't look too bad right there. Looks pretty good. So we'll just take a shim, the back side, Put it in
This
here.
is to bring it into plumb just a little bit.
Right, just a touch. Just has to be a little bit. And we'll take our drill. Pre-drill our hole.
Now, do you know that you're going into a stud there?
Yes.
You'd already checked.
We'd already checked.
Yeah, because one of the things you do once you put your level lines in is you find your studs and you mark them off.
That's right.
And I guess it's very important to make sure that you're fastening them wood to wood.
Yes, it is. Otherwise, they'll be moving around on you.
All right, well listen, while you're putting the rest of those screws in, I want to look at some of these ergonomic features with Mark. I noticed over here, Mark, that this pulls out and you've got a wastebasket built in.
Pull out, right.
Yeah. What are some of the other features in here? Now this one isn't, this belongs in the cabinet that Charlie's putting
you're
up against the
installing
wall.
right now,
Yeah.
right.
And that's just a pull out for spices or whatever.
Well, cooking oils, it's going to be next to the range, so it'll basically be used for cooking oils.
What other features have you
Well,
got
these
to
are
show us?
tilled out sink trays, and these would be used for putting sponges or
Scouring pads and the
scouring pads,
like.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then under the sink, you'll have what else?
We have a sink tote for putting cleaning supplies. It's real simple to install. These can come installed in your cabinet.
These are
or
always
you can
handy because
have-
that way you've got someplace to put the dish towels.
Right.
And what about the pantry? I heard we were getting a really fabulous pantry unit in here.
Well, this is our pantry unit. This is a pull-out pantry unit, and they're wire baskets, and they're real easy to install and adjust.
Go ahead, pull a couple out.
As you can see, they're adjustable. Put them on there any place you want. Be for dry food storage, or
And you
some
can-
people put canned goods in there.
You can adjust them to whatever height you need so that
Right.
you've got room for cereal boxes or canned goods or whatever, and they slide in and out. Excellent. Well, thanks for coming over.
Thank you.
All right, nice job. When we come back, we'll have a great selection of colors for stone countertops. Stick around. It's time to talk about countertop materials for the kitchen here, and Dick DeShant from Silestone is joining us to show us a new opportunity. Now, everybody loves granite in the kitchen, but this is a different type of product, right, Dick?
That's exactly right. What we have here is the best of granite and none of the pitfalls. Granite, time-honored, wonderful material, but it requires maintenance. This is a maintenance-free material that's composed of 93% quartz, which in fact is the third hardest substance in nature. So
Well, granite is full of quartz, right?
it is.
Yeah.
So the Italians have figured out a process to extract the quartz, put it together with polymers for adhesion, pigment for coloration, and the end result is a maintenance-free top.
Looks to me like they're also adding mirrored chips to some of these.
Yes, they are. As a matter of fact, mica chip.
Mica chip.
Yes, sir.
That's beautiful. So how many colors altogether do you have in here?
We're getting close to 40.
Wow.
I think at this point there's actually
Look at that.
36.
Now that's an actual red. There's no artificial pigment in there. It's the color of the quartz.
No, there's actual pigment in there for coloration.
Oh, okay. All
But
right.
because it's engineered, we're able to keep a consistent pattern and coloration as time goes on.
Yeah. Well, the variety is spectacular. What about the cost?
Cost comes in medium price, solid surface, entry-level granite.
Okay. And you said the main distinction was in terms of maintenance versus no maintenance. How does that work?
Well, more importantly, the first thing that should be addressed is the 10-year warranty.
Okay.
Okay, so after that, what we've got is a completely stain-resistant material, all right? Because of the manufacturing process, the density is lessened, so there are no pores. Nothing in the kitchen have we found to date that's going to actually stain this.
Okay.
It's scratch-resistant to the point where you'll actually dull your knives cutting on it.
So you don't want to cut on it.
You do not. You want to spend a couple extra dollars, get yourself a cutting board. Heat-resistant to the point where we're able to take hot pots off a stove, put it directly on.
Just like on a real stone.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, if you do put a mar in it, can you repair it by using some sort of abrasive or?
Well, because it's twice the actual strength of granite,
Yeah.
okay, it's less apt to chip or break, but in fact, if it does, we're able to repair it with an Akimi product, which is used as standard in the granite industry.
Okay, and I understand the price point comes in a little bit under entry-level granite.
That's correct.
Very nice. How about installation?
Installation, very similar to the granite, but because of the way that we do the templating, we're able to come in, tear out your existing kitchen, all right, the day of the installation, do the actual install of the new product, bring in a plumber, and that evening you can be cooking dinner. So
Terrific.
it's
Well,
a
we've got
one-day.
Brees Repold here from Northern Stone, who's going to show us the traditional way of making templates. Now, with all stone countertops, Brees, you got to make a template before you go back to the shop to cut it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a foolproof method of fabrication.
What's this white paper that you've
This
got
is
here?
a polystyrene plastic that works
It makes nice sound effects. Yeah.
works very well. It's flexible, could be rolled up, so when you leave the job site, you just roll up your templates, throw them in your vehicle, and you're done.
Okay.
The one drawback to it, as you can see here at the dishwasher, is it's so flexible that it actually droops. So we need to
You prop it up before you mark
absolutely.
it.
We have these steel yardsticks
Yeah.
that we put in there, and boom, we have a rigid, straight surface that allows us to measure the configuration of this cabinet.
All right. So what will you do in this particular kitchen? Are there any places that you need to scribe or?
Well, first of all, we need to locate the sink. The sink opening is very important. Discuss with the homeowner the location of the faucet holes and so forth. The next thing that we do is we have to cut to walls.
Yeah.
Walls are never 90 degrees to one another.
But what do you actually have to do here?
Well, we have to just take a ruler and basically measure the difference from one end to the other, make our cut, and fit it to the wall.
All right. How about this end?
Okay.
Put a mark on the bottom of it, or?
Yep. So we mark where the cabinet is.
Now this is a finished end. Will there be an overhang on
Yes,
an end
sir.
like that?
That's the reason for measuring where the cabinet ends, so we can add our 1-inch overhang,
Great.
and we cut. Then the last thing we would do is put a radius right at the corner to soften it up.
Okay, so we make the opening for the sink using the paper template sent with the undercounter double basin from Kohler. First, we cut out the template on the cutting line using a utility knife and scissors. Next, the outline of the paper template is transferred to the plastic material. Then, using the utility knife and straight edge, we cut out the opening for the sink. So this is the traditional way of making the templates, but in the digital age, we have Paul Hansen from eTemplates here to explain how you can do it electronically. Paul, what are all these little white and black things on?
Well, these markers are designed to sit on top of the cabinets to outline our countertop. 2 go on each straight section, and then we place some other markers to identify special cutouts, giving us the centerline location for our sinks
We
and
have
so forth.
a secondary Kohler sink that goes here in the island, and so these will help to determine where that opening would be,
Correct.
even though it's a circle?
That's correct. Many times the manufacturer will give us a template electronically to put it into the template.
And then this?
This is a scale which also has 2 markers on it that are of a known length that help us define the precision we get.
And then all you have to do is take a digital photograph?
Correct. We stand back and take 2 or more photographs from multiple angles, and this is going to define the template electronically.
Now, once you've taken these photographs, then what happens?
Well, then the data of the photographs are downloaded to the computer and brought into a computer-aided design system to create your actual electronic template, downloaded to CNC machines many times for automation.
And the machine automatically will cut it. I wish we could see that, but next week we'll see the finished counters. Thanks, Paul. Next, the folks from California Closets will be here to finish up the master suite dressing area. Okay, up in the master bedroom now to talk with Marcy Weisburgh and Brad Bendel, who are installing the California Closets. Marcy, California Closets means custom, right?
It means totally custom.
So what did our homeowners ask for here?
The homeowners asked us specifically to divide the closet into a his and hers sections so that they didn't have to bump into each other.
Now this is a relatively large space. It's
It
about
is.
12 by 6, I would guess.
Yes.
So is it 50-50?
No, not quite. Never is.
Never is.
Never is, no.
What's the layout? Tell us exactly what happens
We have
where.
over here for the hearse section, we have long hanging with a couple of shelves above, some top and bottom hanging that we call double hanging.
Yeah.
We put in some mid-length hanging over here with some shelves above. She can store lots of things on there. And she specifically asked for lots of shoe shelves. And that's what she's getting over here.
So all of these shelves are put in so close together because they're meant to house shoes.
Correct. And they're fully adjustable, so she can move them around for shoes or boots or whatever she needs them for.
Now, Brad, what is the product itself? I mean, it's a wood finish, right?
Yes, it's a high-pressure laminate particle board, furniture grade.
Okay. And so it looks, it looks like mahogany. How do you go about installing these and hanging them off the walls?
Okay, Bob, what we have is similar to what your European cabinets are
This is his side, right?
That's it. That's all he got.
attached
No,
to
he
the
gets
wall.
the whole wall, I think. How do they attach?
Okay, it's similar to the European cabinet device that we use to attach it to the wall. It's a metal bar, and what we do is we screw it into the studs with a 2-inch tempered screw.
Right.
And then after we have that on, we put the cover onto the rail.
Dress it up.
Goes right on. And now we're ready to install our vertical partitions.
So these partitions are the strength of it all, because it isn't just hanging off of that nail, it's also taking the weight and transferring it against the back wall.
Correct, Bob.
Right?
And we hang it onto the suspension bracket, and the suspension bracket, once assembled, we can allow it to
Let's go
move
ahead and
in and
assemble
out
it.
and adjust it for levelness.
So you just hang those two off the sides,
Correct, Bob?
and then the horizontals.
Yes. And this is what we call a locking shelf. It's cam lock, and the hardware is inserted into the vertical partitions. And the shelves go right in, and it's a full turn, and the cam locks it right into place.
Just like knockdown furniture.
Yes.
Just 2 turns and it's locked. And then basically the same thing at the bottom?
Same at the bottom.
Okay. Beautiful. Now, Marcy, how do you figure out the cost of an installation like this?
We price by the components, so everything is priced individually. The partitions, the shelves, the drawers, the accessories. So everything is priced individually for the customer.
So every job really is its own. You can't just quote it by the square foot.
No, we can't.
It's going to be a beautiful job. And of course, this will be separated from the rest of the master suite by some Japanese screens.
Yep.
Very nice. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.
Next, I'll join contractor Charlie Tomaszewski to install medicine chests in the master bath. Okay, and still in the master suite, Charlie's putting finishing touches on our row burn medicine chests. And these are very, very special. As you can see, we have mirror on the inside of the door, and then gasketing so that when the cabinet is actually closed, you don't ever have to worry about any dust or moisture from the shower getting in there. And I think one of the neat things about it is that if you have your typical situation where when you're showering, this mirror gets all fogged up, you can always open this up. And you can use these 2 mirrors. Of course, there's glass shelves that go in there as well. We'll put them in later. Can I help you with that other one?
Yes, Bob.
Okay, now these also have what they call European hinges, right?
Concealed hinges.
Concealed hinges. And they're very heavy duty.
Yep.
There you go.
You can adjust the mirror.
Oh, the door, right. Just like a kitchen cabinet,
Exactly.
European furniture. There we go. All right, that ought to hold it. Very nice. Nice job, Charlie. We're running out of time. Come home again next time for our final visit here in Medford. We'll be putting in finishing touches like wall-to-wall carpet, all sorts of lighting fixtures, and gadgets from the Internet Home Alliance. Till then, I'm Bob Vila. It's good to have you home again. For lots of information and resources for your home improvement project, check out my website at bobvila.com.